What's up, everyone? I'm Dana Marie from Pitch List, the Songwriters Podcast, and we're here right now with Kip Moore. Thank you so much for being here.
You bet.
That was awesome. We just saw you perform inside at the HGTV Lodge. How did that feel?
That was a good time. The Lodge is always a good time. We've done it for about 3 years in a row.
That's awesome. All right. I mean, you could feel the energy in there too. Like those are your fans.
Yeah, I mean, we have a very loyal fan base. I wouldn't trade it for anything.
That's awesome. So, I mean, you first exploded onto the scene back in 2012, with your first album, that single, Something About a Truck. And then you had huge success last year with More Girls Like You. So, I mean, how has your songwriting changed and your artistry changed, like, over the past 6 years?
I mean, I think anytime you're in touch with yourself and what's going on around you, if you're wanting to grow and expand, that's what you're going to do. And I just think that I'm a different songwriter in a lot of ways. I'm a different artist in a lot of ways. I've just grown as a person, and my playing has grown. My writing muscle has grown. My writing changes as I change. I write about things that are going on in my life. I'm not always trying to pull from something to stay relevant. I'm writing of what's real for me at that particular time in my life.
Yeah. And I think that's how you get like your best songs, and you're being real and you're being honest,
Yeah, I agree 100%.
Awesome. So, I mean, who, as of right now, would you say is your biggest influence songwriting-wise?
I think it's still the heroes that I draw on, from Petty to Dylan. I've been listening to a lot of Jackson Brown. I would say those guys.
That's awesome. So I was reading a little bit about your story online, and is it true that you actually lived in Hawaii for a couple months after you graduated college?
Yeah, a lot longer than a couple months. I lived in a little hut out there, and I'd hitchhike to the beach every day and surf and backpack all over and work odd jobs. And I wrote a lot of music at that time of my life on a little old beat-up Yamaha guitar, and that's kind of when I got the itch to move to Nashville to be a songwriter.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I mean, what eventually drove you to pursue that career in music and move to Nashville?
Well, I mean, I was already doing music for 3 years in the bars in South Georgia. I was bouncing all over South Georgia doing the cover band scene and trying to fit in some of my originals. And then when I moved to Hawaii, I really started focusing on my writing. And that's just, it was one of those things where I realized if I wasn't happy in paradise surfing every day, then, I knew that music was what I wanted to do in my life.
Yeah, so what would be your biggest piece of advice to new writers in town, wanting to be artists or writers or both?
I try not to really give advice. We all have different paths. But I would say that there's a lot of imitators, there's a lot of copycats, and anytime a certain thing hits, everybody's trying to jump on that train. Well, you can jump on that train, but the train's going to leave you behind, because whoever started that train, they might be able to stay successful with it, but the minute that fad is gone, you're going to be left in the dust and nobody's going to care. So I would just try to say, stay authentic to whatever you're feeling inside, and don't try to be something that you're not.
I mean, what's next in terms of new music for you? Where do you see your career going next?
I don't know where my career is going next.
I think that's the fun of it, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just always writing and trying to get better and working on my craft. I'm working on a project right now. I'll know that answer better 20 years from now. I don't know where my career is going.
All right, well, I think we can all expect to see awesome new music coming out soon from Kip. Thank you so much for being here. It was great talking with you. Thanks for watching, everyone. For more coverage on this year's CMA Fest, go check out our social media or go to pitchlistpodcast.com. See you next time.